Welcome to another episode of Mono Mono Tech Talk. I'm Dr. PK, and it is a Friday afternoon. Oh man, we made it. We made
We
it.
made it.
Oh wow, Anele, welcome to another show of Mono Mono Tech Talk. I know we're having problems with LinkedIn, but the guys on YouTube can follow us. So let's just get started. Anele, how are we feeling?
Feeling good. Looking forward to the rest of the year. It still feels kind of like the beginning, early enough to still stick to our New Year's resolutions and keep it going.
That's
So I
right.
feel great.
That's
How about
right.
you?
Yeah. It still feels quite raw, right? But I do
Yeah.
think that we are definitely in for a ride. I do think so. I think that it is not easy to kind of, have expectations that are not necessarily coming true yet. And as much as one wants to get going, we definitely need to kind of stay on the course. So, what are we talking about today, Anele? We've got a very interesting topic today. What is it that we are kind of getting into?
Yeah, well, speaking about staying on the course and it being the beginning of the year, today we want to look at some of the tech trends, tech and branding trends that are on Brand Watch's digital marketing trends for 2026 reports, right? Which speaks about how audiences are tired of generic AI and something called trend hijacking.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, audiences are looking for more real, more authentic, more genuine participation, more small moments of joy when it comes to engaging with technology, as well as using human voices, right? Because in areas where people thought AI is supposed to empower that human connection, it's actually disempowering us in certain areas and creating less of a connection. And I
Mm-hmm.
think less of a connection between brands and people. So yeah, I want to talk about brand watches digital marketing trends for 2026, and it's things like brands that have soul and brands that use micro influencers, brands that really use authentic connection, that are going to be up on the rise, are going to be on the up this year because they are doing a lot more genuine connection, using
Mm-hmm.
less AI to disempower, but using more human to human connection to empower. So I don't think the designers of AI have really seen what they wanted to see in terms of what they want to see with AI and how it engages with human beings, because human connection always wins, right? So some
Yep.
of the trends for this year are exactly that. It's things like brands with soul that are going to thrive in the AI slop era, right? It's so easy to make
Mm-hmm.
AI videos that are going to so-called connect to people, but we really need more soul and more authentic connection, right?
Yep. Yep.
To our audiences as brands, and also trying to force marketing at a mass level and mass product marketing at a mass level is also going to be on the decrease this year, because people want to know, how does this product actually speak to me, how does it connect to me as a person? And I think that's when that data and the algorithm crystallization is also going to take place, because we're shifting, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. For sure. For sure. I
Yeah.
mean, I think it's a very interesting take, and I agree with you. I think that I like to look at it. I mean, of course, as you know, Anele, Mono Mono Tech thrives in looking at things from a systems perspective, and one of the first things that came to mind when I saw kind of the first thing about AI slop is that's something that none of the AI, OpenAI or Gemini or, all the other ones, Claude, even thought about, right? The fact that AI will now not only be used but also be the number one kind of misinformation tool that will discredit someone's, kind of productivity hack. and
Sure.
and all of a sudden it's like, no man, that's that's not what I got. This is not, I bought the ticket, but I'm not getting the ride. And I do agree. I think, and its marketing is such a key element to that AI slop that now people are saying, no, hold on, let's take a step back. So I agree with you.
Yeah, and I think the other thing that I read, which which really stuck out to me, was also we're learning to embrace trying again, which I think is so important in an era where it seems as if success is overnight, but people are showing that effort is cool, right? It's not knowing things and trying new things out, and so audiences are engaging a lot with the nuances of people trying new products, trying um, creativity and exploring their creativity through technology as well, and being vulnerable about it as opposed to a know-it-all culture.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. I think it's definitely something that I've seen personally, where all my best connections on any website, whether YouTube or LinkedIn specifically, have all been about how raw and authentic I've been. And none of them were AI generated. None of them were even the idea came from AI. It was almost as kind of impromptu, straight off the bat. And that's the funny thing, Anele, is that when you don't actually realize that even the way you write sentences says something about you. Even the way how you construct sentences is authentic, and how AI even robs you of that. Of
Mm.
course, when it comes to a report and all of that, nobody cares, right? A technical report. But when it comes to your opinion, what you think about a specific thing, even sentence structure, AI can rob you of that identity. So I've seen it firsthand, and I'm really happy to see that people are really waking up to that.
Yeah, and that can be disempowering, right? Not being able to articulate ideas, not being able to articulate concepts in the most authentic way, right? It's all very much um, produced. I think another thing for me that stuck out in this article that I really, really found to be interesting is that in workspaces, it's now the colleagues and the employees that are more brand ambassadors than just strangers online, right? It's
Hmm.
really people who live the brand, who experience the brand on every angle, from using it to working for the brand. But we're having a lot more, a lot less mass influencing from the commercial, for example, influencers, the maxi influencers, if I can call them that. And we're getting more of a connection with the micro influencers, but also more the employees of brands who are able to speak on those brands, which brings a more authentic voice as well.
Yeah, yeah, no, you're right. And I think this is for me where hopefully, a show like Molo Molo Tech Talk would eventually get traction, is because employees need to speak up and need to give their opinions. I think long gone is the era of which just your work alone will get you through the door. It's gone. It's done. And I think that's the scary part. And the scary part for me is the fact that a lot of engineers, just or technical professionals just like me, still have the mindset, and the schooling system still introduces the mindset that school alone is enough, a degree alone is enough. And that is no longer the case, because we've been inundated with AI generated abilities that supposedly you are able to circumvent the need to read a CV, and you want to actually see how authentic the person is. So all of that all of a sudden is actually a crutch. You being
Mm.
silent is a crutch, and now you gotta speak up, and you gotta let the world know what is your opinion about different things. So I agree with
Yeah.
that completely.
Because we're not machines at the end of the day, right? And we can't be outpaced by technology. And that's where the disempowering then comes in, right? When we're outpaced by technology, when our memory, our attention span is robbed, when our ability to think critically, independently, when our ability to connect emotionally with audiences disappears, then that's when we lose the power between human and technology. And I think the other thing that I liked about this article is the point where they speak about nostalgia and emotional connection to audiences as well, and how brands are using nostalgia to bring back memories, to make audiences connect to that human part of them. I don't know if you've seen those nostalgia videos, and they play, this sound that just reminds you so much of your childhood. But I think brands are really leaning on that, on the things that may, the simpler life. When you think about playing down the road with your friends, chasing the ice cream man, because for some reason, especially for millennials, that's such a pain point, because we feel like as we're moving into this space of automation. I hope I'm using the right word.
Yeah, automation.
But yeah, automation. While we're moving into the space of automation, people want to connect, and people want to know that what they remember about growing up in a time without technology is real. That they're not being gaslit into thinking it was never real, because our memories are feeling so distant because things have changed so much. So brands can actually leverage off nostalgia, just nostalgia as a
Yeah,
theme.
yeah.
So I found that quite interesting.
No, I agree with you. I think that, but I think it's got to, when you think about it from a system perspective, right? When you think about it from the fact that you need something's been missing for a while, right? You've just been bombarded, almost like dysregulated. When I mean, my child, my son has, had to go through that. You've been dysregulated. You need dysregulation, and you've been overstimulated, right? And now all of a sudden the only thing that you can hold on to is the very thing that you enjoy, the very thing that you remember, that was not kind of, touched, that was not smeared with all this overstimulation. And then all of a sudden, the kind of the ice cream truck sound becomes very endearing, because you're like, oh my
Mm,
word, it is so raw, it is so, unadulterated, that you're like, yeah, this is what I want to see. and
mm,
but it's off the it is from the fact that you've been so overstimulated with the current state of affairs, that your body and your brain specifically is looking for some escape to something that is still pure. And it's usually things that are in the past that are pure, right? Because that are
mm,
not touched, and they're from your
mm,
childhood, and they have good emotions. So people are
mm.
people are struggling. That's as simple as that. People are struggling, and these nostalgia videos are really just showcasing what people are thriving, or what are striving to really get back to. So, in a way, it's a good thing, but also in a way, it's a bad thing, because it's just showing just how many people are really struggling with the after effects of all this AI bombardment that's happening.
Yeah. Because again, we're not machines. We were made for that connection. I mean, when you think about nostalgia, your childhood, how untouched it was, every generation always remembers trends from the past. Or I think it's just, we, like you say, we're hungry for that connection. We're hungry to know that things are real. And I think for me as a millennial, I'm fearful on losing my grip on reality, because when you watch shows like Black Mirror, you realize that as much as technology empowers us, it could easily disempower us if we are not in control of the narrative, if we don't have open discussions about how it's causing a different level of division and inequality that is very digital, in a
Yeah.
world that is supposed to be bringing us all together. As you mentioned earlier, disinformation, something I'm very passionate about, and I don't know what we're going to do about it in AI. How do we connect with each other when we're able to also create fake information? How are we supposed to connect with brands when we know that we're also being gaslit by those same brands, whether the brand is in the form of a person or whether it's in the form of a product.
Mm-hmm.
It's important that we have these conversations and that we keep track of the fact that it's natural for us to want to connect. It's never going to be normal for us to live in a world where we are disconnected but connected in another realm.
Yeah, yeah, I agree with you. I mean, I think definitely the one thing that I also saw in that article is, the fact that, digital or brands are now seeing the need to meet offline. And I thought that is so weird because we are going back full circle, you know, where we are saying forget Google, forget Microsoft Teams, forget kind of YouTube. Let's meet face to face because people are tired. People are incredibly tired of kind of just, remote office, and then at the same time you do remote office and then you still speak to someone who's not human, right? It's the
Yeah.
AI guy. So every website you go, it's the AI
Mm.
version. It's, even when, I mean, let me tell you the story, like, which for me just is synonymous with the world that we live in, is without your knowledge, AI will want to be a participant. Of course, you can turn it off and whatever, but most people don't. AI will want to be a participant to every online calls you make for the sake of making notes.
Sure.
What happens there is you can have five people in a call, all of them has an AI note taker, and each and every single AI note taker feels the need to announce themselves that they are here. So what happens now? What happens is every time the AI note taker says something, the speaker needs to acknowledge because he's been disturbed. So now you have a conversation with an AI note taker while everybody's wondering why are you being so foolish, my man? Like you know it's an AI note taker, but because
Yeah.
we are not used to such a discomfort
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
AI is bringing, and you become almost violated in your privacy of trying to have a one-on-one conversation or a group conversation with a human being that
Yeah.
AI doesn't get. It just doesn't get it.
Yeah.
It's
Our
like no,
unofficial colleague.
it's like these are unofficial colleagues that just don't have any EQ. They don't have any EQ. They don't have any EQ. They don't know
Yeah.
what is the decorum. Should I keep quiet now? Should I mute myself? They know nothing.
Yeah.
And everybody cannot give feedback to these unofficial colleagues. So now everybody's just bothered. Everybody's just bothered. So it's just a funny phase we are in,
Yeah.
where
Yeah.
it's just become just a joke. It's literally just a
Yeah.
joke. And anyway, so I get it why people want to meet offline. It's just people are just tired now. So yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, but
good.
perhaps I think a mixed approach would always be best when it comes to looking at the future, because again, innovation is important. So much has come through from innovation, from medical cures to,
Hmm.
so I think we need to always learn our limitations and again, just be aware of ourselves and how and ultimately what we want to do with the brands that we're putting out there, the products that we're putting out there, that they're being consumed by
Hmm.
human beings, not robots. So they cannot be promoted by robots and AI. And people must understand that they're talking to real people. So I think brands can learn a thing or two. And I think, like you mentioned earlier, this is definitely something that should be a two-part series because brands, I think we really do need to engage with brands and how they engage with audiences as well. So I don't think we got to talk about everything we wanted to talk about in this one episode. So I look forward to us exploring this topic some more in the
Yeah.
future.
Yeah, but this was amazing because this was definitely a good intro, Anele. I do think that we have a lot to say about this. It is not easy. I think my conclusion on this is it's not easy to make a mistake and own it, right? It's not easy. And we are now in a world where the AI companies are billion-dollar industries. That's the fact. And it will be incredibly difficult for them to own up the mistake, or the or should I say the unintended consequences that now AI has brought to our lives, and now people are trying to find a way to escape this lie that we've been told that AI is here to only help, because clearly that is not the case. So it was really great, really great. Well done, Anele. Really well done.
Thank you, Dr. PK. Well done to you.
All right. So this was another episode of Molo Molo Tech Talk. I'm Dr. PK, and this was
Anele on Anele and Dr. PK on TikToks.
all good, guys. Have a good Friday. We'll see you guys soon. Take care.